What would your dog sound like if your dog could speak? Like if I was having a conversation with your dog.
He'd have like a monotone and be like, feed me. Hi, my name is Kaeli Smith. I'm a junior at Bertola High School in Irvine, California. Growing up, I had this huge dream of California because we would vacation here, and I just thought it was perfect. I thought that people that lived in California had tans and went to the beach every day and had this like fun friend group where they would laugh all the time and just life was perfect. At the end of my 7th grade year, my dream came true, kind of. My dad accepted his current position, which is a teacher and basketball coach at my high school. My family stepped out in faith and did what a lot of people thought was insanity, and we left behind our friends, family, and community where we were well known in New Mexico and moved to Irvine where we did not know a single soul. So I kind of just had like this idea that California was like this perfect place and that I felt that it was the right thing. I felt physically like alone. I just didn't really process that I was in a new place and I was the new girl. And actually like there was times in middle school where I would eat lunch in the bathroom because I had no friends. There was this club in my school in New Mexico called FCA where you go to the gym, you play a game, and you just be in fellowship with each other and listen to a message and stuff. And so moving to California, my dad was a teacher at my high school and he told me that there wasn't one. And so I just kind of started praying like, hey, like God, like it'd be really cool if somebody started one. Because I was like, okay, I have this idea that once I get to high school, if there's an FCA, I'll finally feel like I kind of belong in California. I'll feel like I have something to belong to. So as freshman year approached, I felt like God was saying that I needed to be the one to start the FCA. And although I was really scared, I was like, okay, you know what, like this is like the Spirit's prompting, so I'm gonna do it. I invited some of my basketball teammates at the time, and we had 9 people, and it was great. It was small, but I really didn't care because I was like, God planted a seed, this is awesome. Over the course of a year, FCA grew from 9 people to 175 people, and then we moved to the gym, so that was really, really cool to see. But during this time, you'd think that that would be kingdom work. And although it really was, and it was really cool to see God move during FCA, and like while I moved here, I was going through a lot. Moving to California, I had all these expectations that my life would be perfect, and then when it wasn't, I didn't have control over anything, and I just felt really scared and alone, and I felt like God had left me in a way because I didn't physically feel full. I didn't feel like I was cared about, I guess. One of the things that I could control was the food I ate because it was something I could control and it gave me feelings of fulfillment. There would be times where I would have like binge eating sessions where I would sneak food from home and nobody really knew how much I was struggling because I started an FCA, I acted in plays, I ran cross country and track. And obviously because I was binge eating so much, I began to gain a lot of weight, but people really just thought it was because I was a basketball player and my dad was tall and that was just what was happening. But these habits kind of continued into my sophomore year. So as FCA was growing, I was becoming like farther from God. At the end of my sophomore year, I kind of hit a breaking habits. I hated what I was doing to myself and I hated that I was replacing God with food. So I prayed about it and like I made a change. I started eating healthier and running more. Again, I'd love to say that that's where it ended, but it did not. I was actually at CIY when my life group leaders like walked in on me over exercising because I was so worried about not being skinny enough, not being good enough, like not being like perfect like I expected to be because I expect all these things. I expected that once I moved to California, my life would be perfect. Once I started FCA, I'd feel like I belonged. Once I lost weight, I wouldn't have any problems. I'd feel like fulfilled, I guess. So I definitely felt God saying that I needed to like step down from like the head of FCA to being the feet where like I just serve in the background. It's like stuff that goes unnoticed, like cleaning up like trash or like cleaning up, like wrapping up the microphone or just like inviting people to FCA. And it's just little things like that that God uses. Honestly, kingdom work is just little things like trusting Him when you're broken and trusting Him when you feel like you have nothing to offer because you're so like ashamed and sad and like alone. And then just trusting that He's gonna use that to help other people and like to serve like the good of His kingdom. My name is Kaeli and I'm a kingdom worker.